Doctors told me long ago that I should take it easy, that aging would catch up with me. But here I am, 92 years old, still driving, and I haven't caught a single cold in 3 decades. No, it's not because of good genes or blind luck. It's because of 5 daily habits that transformed my health, one simple routine at a time. Some of these are so straightforward you'll wonder how they work. Yet they absolutely do. Doctors told me long ago that I should take it easy, that aging would catch up with me. But here I am, 92 years old, still driving, and I haven't caught a single cold in 3 decades. No, it's not because of good genes or blind luck. It's because of 5 daily habits that transformed my health, one simple routine at a time. Some of these are so straightforward you'll wonder how they work. Yet they absolutely do. Here's exactly what I've done differently, and why today might be the perfect day for you to begin, too. Here's exactly what I've done differently, and why today might be the perfect day for you to begin, too. Habit number 1, morning movement ritual. Every single morning before my feet even leave the sheets, I send a message to my body. I don't call it exercise, I don't even call it stretching. I call it a signal. A gentle tap on the shoulder of every muscle, every nerve, every joint, telling them, it's time, we're alive, we're moving. I've done this ritual since I was 62 years old. It began after a conversation with a wise doctor who told me something I never forgot. The body ages fastest in the first 30 minutes after waking. Your blood is thick from lying still, your joints are cold and tight, and your nervous system still foggy from sleep. Yet most people jump out of bed, grab their phones, and dive straight into stress. I used to be one of them. Back when I was 60, I'd wake up stiff, foggy-headed, and unsteady. I'd drag myself to the bathroom, legs heavy, brain slow. One morning, I tripped over my own slippers. My feet simply hadn't caught up with me. That stumble taught me something important. If you don't wake your body up gently, it might not be ready when you need it most. So now I do the opposite. I stay on my back and begin with 3 long, intentional breaths. I stretch my fingers wide like I'm opening a piano. I wiggle my toes. I slowly rotate my ankles, then my wrists. It takes only 90 seconds. But in those 90 seconds, I feel my body come online. Each breath is oxygen to my brain. Each movement gets the blood flowing, warming up my limbs. Every tendon, every joint, every bit of me hears the message loud and clear. Wake up, you're needed today. Some folks think it's silly, just wiggling in bed like that. But that's exactly the point. It's not about breaking a sweat, it's about consistency. The habit is what heals you, not the intensity. Research agrees. The National Institute on Aging found that older adults who engage in simple morning mobility, just like this, report better balance, more energy, and clearer thinking throughout the day. The Mayo Clinic even published findings showing that gentle movement in the morning helps regulate blood pressure, lower inflammation, and support long-term joint health. That's not theory, that's science. And here's the beauty of it. You don't need a yoga mat, you don't need fancy stretches, you don't even need to get out of bed. All you need is 90 seconds. And the intention to tell your body, I care about you. Let's start this day together. Because aging doesn't show up in big, dramatic moments. It sneaks in during those quiet, early, forgettable ones. And those are the exact moments when you can begin again. When you can choose to send that signal to tell your body, we're still in this. If you're wondering when the best time to start is, it's the next time you wake up. Don't reach for your phone, reach for yourself. Take one breath. Wiggle one toe, whisper to your joints, good morning. Habit number 2, the golden glass, every morning. Right after I've done my little wake-up ritual in bed, I reach for the one thing that's protected my health for over 30 years. It's not a supplement, it's not a fancy pill. And it's certainly not some overhyped superfood powder that costs half your grocery bill. It's something so simple you might overlook it, but I never do. A warm glass of water infused with lemon, turmeric, and a pinch of black pepper. That's all, no secrets, no magic, just 3 ingredients, and together they've changed my life. I call it my golden glass, and it's the very first thing I put into my body every single day. It primes my immune system. It wakes up my digestion. It soothes inflammation before breakfast even begins. Let me break down why each piece matters more than you might think. Lemon. Freshly squeezed lemon is rich in vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that doesn't just help prevent illness. It also shortens recovery time, especially in older adults. The Linus Pauling Institute at Oregon State confirms this. But there's more. Lemon also triggers bile production in the liver, which helps digestion, prevents toxin buildup, and supports smoother metabolism. And since stomach acid often decreases with age, slowing digestion, lemon gives that natural boost we sorely need. Seedling turmeric. This isn't just a spice. It's one of the most potent anti-inflammatory agents found in nature. Its active compound, curcumin, has been studied in hundreds of medical journals. It lowers inflammatory markers that tend to rise as we age. Markers linked to joint pain, chronic illness, even brain fog. A major review in Frontiers in Pharmacology showed that curcumin not only fights inflammation, but strengthens immune response and reduces oxidative stress in older adults. Hot black pepper. This might surprise you, but pepper is the secret weapon. It contains piperine, which increases your body's ability to absorb curcumin by up to 2,000%. Without it, turmeric is nearly useless. It won't make it past your gut wall. But with it, it becomes a powerful health booster. That's it. That's the full recipe. Just warm, not boiling, water, half a lemon's juice, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, and a small pinch of black pepper. Stir gently, sip slowly. The whole thing takes under 5 minutes to make, and it's one of the most important things I do. I've had this golden drink nearly every day for the past 3 decades. Not because I saw it on a blog. Not because it went viral. I do it because it works. Before I started this habit, I struggled. I'd catch colds, get sinus infections a couple times a year. My joints would ache through the winter, and I felt heavy after breakfast. Then I began this golden ritual. Within 2 weeks, my digestion smoothed out. I wasn't bloated. I had more energy. And then something bigger happened. I realized an entire year had gone by without me getting sick. That was 30 years ago, and I haven't stopped since. Do I still come into contact with germs? Of course, but my body isn't defenseless anymore. It doesn't just stand there and take it. It fights back. Because every morning I give it the tools to prepare. This golden glass isn't just a drink, it's a message. Just like my morning movement, it's a signal to my system. We're playing offense today. You don't need expensive vitamins. You don't need trendy diets or supplements that promise the world. What you do need is a habit, a simple, consistent one that whispers to your body, "I'm looking out for you." So tomorrow morning, before the eggs sizzle or the coffee brews, pour yourself a golden glass. As you drink, don't just think of it as liquid. Think of it as a decision, a commitment to your health, one that says, loud and clear, "I choose to feel good, not by luck but by choice." Habit number 3, the healing walk. I don't walk to burn calories. I don't walk to check off some step-counting goal on an app. I walk to heal. Rain or shine, every single day, I take a 15-minute walk that I now call my anti-inflammatory prescription. No headphones, no screens, just my breath, my body, and the world around me. So many people underestimate walking. They see it as something you do when you're too old or too out of shape to run. Like it's some kind of consolation prize, but I'm 92. And if I could go back, I'd tell my 60-year-old self, walking isn't the backup plan, it's the whole foundation. Back then, I used to jog. I believed I had to sweat and strain to stay young. That's what the magazines said. But then I read a study that shook me awake. It said that walking, just simple walking, can reduce systemic inflammation, regulate blood sugar, improve memory, and even lower your risk of death by 39%. That was the moment I stopped chasing exhaustion and started embracing rhythm. Walking, I learned, isn't just about moving forward. It's about putting everything back in place. My joints, my lymphatic flow, my nervous system, even my thoughts. And here's the part that matters most. I do it every day, not long. Sometimes it's just around the block, but I never skip it. Not because I'm super disciplined, but because I've seen what happens when I do skip it. I get stiff. My digestion slows, my mood dips, my thinking gets fuzzy. But when I walk, I reset. My posture straightens, my knees feel young, my breath gets deeper, and my brain clears up. I return home lighter, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And science backs it all up. White heavy check mark, a study from the British Journal of Sports Medicine, found that just 20 minutes of walking significantly reduced levels of C-reactive protein, a major marker of inflammation in older adults. White heavy check mark, a Stanford University study revealed that walking boosts creativity and mental clarity more effectively than sitting or even meditating. But the real turning point for me. About 25 years ago, I skipped a walk, just one. I told myself I was busy and I'd get to it later, but the day passed and by the evening something was different. I didn't feel tired or sore. I felt old. My joints didn't feel like mine. My lungs didn't stretch fully. I realized this wasn't just a stroll I missed. I'd missed my medicine. Since that day, I've treated my daily walk like a prescription. Here's how I do it. I wear shoes with strong support. I start slow. I focus on my breath. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. I swing my arms lightly, which opens up my posture. And here's the surprising part. I smile, not because I'm always happy, but because the act of smiling makes me feel happy. And that's not just feel-good fluff. Smiling while walking activates your vagus nerve, a key part of your parasympathetic nervous system. It helps regulate inflammation, heart rate, digestion, and even your immune system. A study from psychosomatic medicine confirmed it. Smiling during movement amplifies the stress-reducing benefits of physical activity. So yes, I walk, I smile, I breathe, just 15 minutes a day, and I feel decades younger. No gym, no equipment, no ideal weather required. You don't even need energy to begin, because walking gives it to you. Your body was built to move, and every step you take whispers, "I still can." So if you've been feeling stuck, foggy, slow, or just off, don't wait around for motivation to find you. Put on your shoes, open your door, and tell your body, let's begin again. Because motion isn't just movement, motion is life. Habit number 4, the brain and body breakfast. There's one thing I've never skipped, not once. In more than 30 years, it's not a pill, it's not a rare vitamin or exotic superfood. It's something much more essential. Something your body literally can't function without. Protein. When I turned 60, I thought I was doing everything right. I ate fruits and veggies, whole grains, took a multivitamin here and there, but something was off. My strength was fading. My energy dipped by mid-morning. My memory, even names and faces, started to feel distant. I chalked it up to aging, until my doctor said something that stopped me cold. You're not getting enough protein. What I didn't know is that after 60, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing and using protein. So while younger people can get by with lower intake, older adults actually need more, not less, to maintain muscle, cognition, immunity, and healing. So I overhauled my breakfast. I replaced cereal and toast with what I now call my brain and body breakfast. It's simple but powerful. 1 boiled egg, 1 cup of Greek yogurt, a handful of walnuts, a small scoop of blueberries. Combined, that's over 25 grams of high-quality protein, along with anti-inflammatories, healthy fats, probiotics, and brain-loving antioxidants. This breakfast doesn't just satisfy me, it stabilizes me. It's the fuel that makes my body resilient and my mind razor-sharp. Why does it matter so much? Because protein isn't just for building biceps. Protein is the raw material for your immune cells. They're made from amino acids. It's what your body uses to create enzymes that repair tissue, regulate hormones, and build neurotransmitters that keep your brain sharp. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consistently consume 25-30 grams of protein per meal have greater muscle mass, fewer hospitalizations, and longer lifespans. Another study from Tufts University showed that seniors with higher protein intake had stronger immune responses to illnesses and vaccines. But here's the catch. Not all proteins are created equal. I focus on complete proteins, the kind that have all 9 essential amino acids your body needs but can't make on its own. White heavy check mark eggs, perfect score. White heavy check mark Greek yogurt. Complete protein plus calcium and gut-friendly probiotics. White heavy check mark walnuts, not complete, but loaded with omega-3s and inflammation fighters. White heavy check mark blueberries. Antioxidants that tie it all together. This breakfast isn't trendy, it's timeless. And here's what really surprised me. My blood sugar stabilized. I used to crash around 11 a.m. reaching for snacks or coffee. Now, I coast through the morning like I'm 40 again. Meetings, errands, appointments. I handle them all without dragging, because I started my day with the fuel my body actually needs. And no, it doesn't have to be fancy or repetitive. Some mornings I switch it up. Cottage cheese with flax seeds, grilled chicken on sprouted toast, a lentil scramble with herbs if I'm feeling fancy. But the rule stays the same. Never skip protein, especially at breakfast. That's the moment your body decides how it will function for the entire day. Think about it. You wouldn't expect a car to run on fumes, right? So why would you expect your body to run on toast and hope? A protein-rich breakfast isn't a diet tip. It's a lifeline. One you can start tomorrow, regardless of your age or past habits. Your body doesn't care if you're 30, 60, or 92. It only cares what you give it today. Habit number 5, mental tuning. Here's something no doctor ever told me. Your mind gets sick before your body does, and if you want to stay young, not just in body but in energy, clarity, and joy, you have to start there. Every morning before I check the weather, before I speak to a single person, before my feet hit the floor, I spend 3 minutes on something I call mental tuning. It's not meditation, it's not therapy, it's this. I sit still, I close my eyes, and I picture the kind of day I want to have. Not what I have to do, not the bills, not the errands. I focus only on how I want to feel. Calm, strong, focused, useful. Then in my mind, I visualize myself moving through the day that way. Confident behind the wheel, sharp in conversation, peaceful in unexpected moments. It might sound small, but it's the single most powerful thing I do all day. And it's backed by science. Your brain doesn't always know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's actually experienced. That's not just a nice idea. It's hard neuroscience. fMRI scans from Harvard and research led by Dr. Joe Dispenza show that when people vividly visualize doing something, whether walking, lifting, speaking, the same regions in the brain light up as if they were actually doing it. Over time, this creates neurological changes. It literally rewires your nervous system. In other words, you can train your mind to be steady, alert, and peaceful before the day even starts. Why does this matter? Because the real threat to your health isn't just germs or age. It's chronic stress. Stress increases cortisol, which damages your brain, weakens immunity, and can even strip away muscle. And for seniors, stress often shows up differently. Not as worry, but as brain fog, fatigue, aches and illnesses that seem to come out of nowhere. But when I take just 3 intentional minutes to tune my thoughts, everything changes. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I had a friend. Same age, same basic health, but he was always stressed. News, politics, money, the future. He lived in a constant state of fight or flight. One day, out of nowhere, he collapsed. A heart issue. No symptoms, no warning. He survived, thankfully, but he never fully bounced back. Not long after, he asked me, "How do you stay so calm? Don't you ever worry?" I told him worry is a thief. Every morning, I lock the door. That's what mental tuning does for me. It starts my day with intention and it builds resilience. Because when your mind is still, your body follows. Blood pressure lowers. Digestion improves. Immunity activates. Memory sharpens. And it doesn't take hours. A 2016 study from the University of Wisconsin, Madison, found that just 5 minutes of daily mental rehearsal lowered anxiety, boosted focus, and significantly improved immune function in adults over 65. And those benefits lasted for weeks. So yes, I walk, I drink my golden glass, I eat protein. But none of those would matter without this. Because your thoughts shape your hormones and your hormones shape your health. You don't need candles, music, or mantras. You don't have to be a monk. All you need is a chair, a breath, and a quiet moment. Picture this. You strong and steady behind the wheel at 92, laughing at the traffic, immune to chaos. Now imagine that again tomorrow, and the day after. And one day you'll notice something odd. It's no longer imagination, it's your reality. So now you know it wasn't luck. It wasn't perfect genes, and it definitely wasn't some magical secret I kept to myself. It was 5 simple, intentional habits, done every day, done without fail. These tiny rituals rewired my body. They might have even saved my life. And here's the best part. You don't have to be 92 to begin. You don't need a time machine. You just have to begin. Today. The morning movement that wakes your body. The golden glass that fuels your immunity, the healing walk that restores balance, the breakfast that feeds strength, and the quiet practice that shapes your thoughts. They may seem small, even forgettable, but they are mighty, because health doesn't vanish in one big moment. It fades in the tiny things we ignore, and it returns in the quiet choices we repeat, thought by thought, step by step, bite by bite. So if you're wondering if it's too late, let me remind you, you're still here, you still can. And whether you believe it or not, you've already started. But there's one last thing I haven't told you yet. One final habit I practice every single night. After the meals, the movement, the mindset. It's something that repairs my body while I sleep. And according to science, it might be the missing key to reversing aging. We'll talk about that next.